Good afternoon. I'm here today with a Sig P320 subcompact 9mm with night sights. It's a model 320 SC-9-BSS. Alright, so in your hard case you receive your manual, your warranty paperwork, you get a Sig decal. Alright, so you get all this. This is your clear chamber indicator. You get 2 magazines. Both magazines are 12 rounds that are flush fitting. You get a Kydex style holster. It's got a tension screw on it. It's a paddle holster. Alright, so this is the basic weapon. It does have the Sig Light night sights. Alright, this is a very comfortable gun. It's got a lot of really nice features on it. Alright, I'll start. The overall length is 6.7 inches. The overall height is 4.7 inches. The width from control to control is 1.3 inches. The width of the slide, here I'm going to set it up so you can just see, it's just over 1 inch. It's about 1 1/10 inches. Alright, it's got a 3.6 inch barrel. The sight radius is 5.5 inches and the weight is 24.9 ounces unloaded. Now, with this weapon, the great thing is that you have magazine compatibility with the larger pistols. The intermediate size, which is a 15 round magazine, that's the mid-size pistol, will fit in, but it sticks out just almost half an inch. Alright, it will fit and function, everything works on it. Then your full-size magazine will fit in it. It sticks out a little bit more. Now, I'm going to do another video on X grips. X grips makes a grip that will fill in this space and give you a pinky rest, and they make it for, I believe they make it for the 9mm mid-size to the subcompact frame, and they make it for the full size to the subcompact frame. So I will do another video on those to show you how they fit and how they look. Now here's the last magazine. This is the 21 round extended magazine, and that fits in your subcompact and will function fine. This pistol has an ambidextrous slide release, so the slide can be released from either side. Okay. Alright, it has a reversible mag catch. It's ambidextrous in the sense that you can take it out, turn it around, and use it for a left-handed shooter. It comes factory installed for a right-handed shooter. Now this pistol, Sig classifies it as a double action only. You can see here. You can see right there it says DAO. Alright, so they classify it as a double action only. It shoots more like a single action only. I'm going to take it apart and show you the internals, and then I'll show you the trigger bar and how it operates. You can see it's unloaded. You have to lock the slide to the rear, rotate the takedown lever to this position, pull the slide release down, and it will come apart from the frame. Now, here's your recoil spring. Okay. It is a steel captured recoil spring. The guide rod is steel. and it, by the way, it uses a combination of their old style twist recoil springs along with the flat recoil spring. You have your barrel. And the quality of this is excellent. Now the slide is stainless steel and it's nitron finished. So it's a very well made, well machined, very well looking slide. Now this is your firing pin safety right here. You can see that lever as it pushes down, it releases the firing pin safety. In this position here, if I push the firing pin forward, it cannot come through the breech face. Make sure you can see that. All right. If this safety lever is depressed, which happens as you squeeze the trigger, then the firing pin can come through into the breech face. And now it's under spring tension, so it will return to the safe position and lock. So as long as your finger is not squeezing that trigger bar back, then the weapon can't discharge. Now, this trigger assembly did not have a drop safety in it, so that is why they were having problems with rear impacts discharging the weapon, because the weight of the trigger would actually cause the weapon to fire. So that was one downside, and now they've improved the design, and that shouldn't happen anymore. Now the way this works, I'm going to trick the firearm. Actually, here I'm going to show you something. All right, I'm going to show you this first. So when you take your takedown pin out, the slide assembly or the frame assembly will come out. This is your firearm. This weapon is the only serialized part of the weapon. So this is your firearm, and that's why you can use the caliber exchange kits that Sig produces, and you can switch from 9mm to 40, 357, and you can go in all the different subcompact, compact, or full size. So that is your firearm. All right. Now the frames are the same frames as the 250. All right. Now on this, to be able to show you how the trigger operates in this, the way they've designed the takedown lever is you cannot take the weapon down if there's a magazine in it. I'm going to move this back here to normal. I'm going to reset the slide release. If I take my magazine and I put into the weapon, there is a mechanism, kind of does what a Springfield XDS does. The takedown lever is connected to this gear right here, and if there's a magazine in it, it will not allow you to take the weapon apart. So if that magazine is preventing that lever from moving backwards, you can't take it down. So if you pull the magazine out, that lever is free to move into the magazine well, and then you'll be able to take it down. Now, if you notice what it did to the slide release, all right, push that back up, lift that up. Now the trigger bar is free. Everything's as if it were assembled. But now watch what happens here to this, and specifically sear that holds the firing pin. So as I pull that lever down, I don't know if you could see it on camera very well, but it pulls this lever down on both sides, and it pulls the sear down out of the way. So now basically the trigger is inoperable, and it won't move the sear because it's already locked in a down position. So if I flip this lever back forward and lift up on this, it resets it. Now the trigger will activate the sear just like the slide was on it. What I wanted to show you was that this right here deactivates your firing pin safety. So as I squeeze the trigger, you can see how that deactivates the firing pin safety. This is what releases the sear. So now, this is your sear, and this is what releases the firing pin. Once you cycle the slide, the firing pin is caught right here. As you squeeze the trigger, it pulls that down and allows the firing pin to move forward firing the gun. It may move back a couple hundredths of an inch. I think I might measure it with my drop gauge. But if this gun is double action, the cocking part of it is only maybe 100th or 200th of an inch. Very minimal. That's why the trigger is so crisp and clean. It's almost like a single action. So what will happen is when I pull the trigger, turns off the safety, releases the firing pin moves forward, fires the weapon. In the slide, you can see this cam right here. This area right here is what surrounds this one that's in battery. So as the slide moves to the rear, that cam will push this down and watch your firing pin sear. It pops back up, so as it moves forward, it captures the firing pin. When you release it, it'll reset, and then it just pulls the sear down out of the way and lets the weapon fire. And then it will cycle again, release, you can see it move. Now if you let your finger all the way off the trigger, it just holds the firing pin there and it's ready to fire again. So that is how the inside of that works. It's a very good design, other than not having the drop safety originally, but it's a very simple design and works really good. Alright, so that's it on the pistol. I'm going to just throw it back together. Alright, oh, here's one thing you want to watch out for. Alright, it's got kind of a oblong cut to it. Make sure that oblong cut is standing straight up and down, like that. Okay, that way it will fit back into the frame. By the way, when the takedown lever pulls the sear down, it releases the firing pin to move forward and frees it up from the sear so that you don't have to dry fire it before you disassemble it. So now I put it back on, pull it back, lock it open, flip the lever forward, it's captured, make sure. Okay, and that's it. Before I finish, one thing I want to show you is the trigger reset. So we have a clear weapon. When I dry fire this weapon, you can see how far the trigger moved. The slide would cycle. I still have follow through on the trigger. I release to there. I can fire my next shot. So the trigger reset is a little more than 1/10 of an inch. So very minimal though. And this does not have a restrike capability for anybody interested. Once you fire it, it disengages the firing pin and you cannot fire the weapon again until the slide cycles. So I will go ahead and function test this weapon with a dozen different hollow points and some full metal jacket ammo, and we'll see how it functions, and I'll post that video next. Thank you.